The wind howled, a relentless symphony of despair mirroring the tempest brewing inside 17-year-old Ethan's heart. Rain lashed against the cracked windowpane of their small, rented house, each drop a percussive beat to the rhythm of his family's crumbling world. Just weeks ago, life had been a vibrant canvas of senior year dreams, college applications, and Friday night lights. Now, it was a monochrome sketch of fear and uncertainty. His father, the steady oak of their family, lay in a hospital bed, a sudden, brutal stroke having stolen his speech and mobility, and with it, their financial stability. The medical bills piled higher than Ethan's textbooks, each envelope a fresh stab of anxiety. His mother, a woman who had always faced life with a gentle smile, now carried the weight of the world on her slender shoulders, her eyes shadowed with unshed tears. Ethan, the eldest, felt the unspoken burden settle heavily upon him, a silent command to be strong, to find a way. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Tales, for more stories that touch the heart. The initial shock had given way to a relentless grind. Ethan picked up every odd job he could find, bagging groceries, washing cars, delivering pizzas late into the night. His grades, once a source of pride, began to slip, overshadowed by exhaustion and the constant hum of worry. Sleep became a luxury, dreams a distant memory. He watched his younger sister, Lily, a bright-eyed 10-year-old, try to understand why their father wasn't coming home, why their mother cried quietly in the kitchen at night. He'd force a smile for her, invent fantastical stories of their father being a superhero on a secret mission, anything to shield her from the harsh reality. But the facade was thin, and he knew it wouldn't last. The house, once filled with laughter, now echoed with a haunting silence, broken only by the hum of the refrigerator and the occasional hushed conversation between Ethan and his mother about bills they couldn't pay. One blustery afternoon, as Ethan hurried between his shift at the local diner and an afternoon class he was barely passing, he overheard a conversation that sent a chill down his spine. Mrs. Henderson, their landlady, was speaking animatedly on her phone, her voice carrying clearly through the thin wall of the diner's kitchen. "Yes, the Miller family, 3 months behind. I simply can't wait any longer. Eviction notice goes out next week." Ethan's blood ran cold. Eviction. The word resonated with a terrifying finality. He pictured Lily's face, the bewildered innocence in her eyes, and a surge of protective fury, mingled with profound fear, coursed through him. He had to do something, anything. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, the shadows playing tricks in the dim light, morphing into the faces of his family, their silent pleas for help. He thought of his father, a man of quiet strength, who had taught him how to throw a baseball, how to fix a leaky faucet, how to always stand up for what was right. Now, his father was helpless, and Ethan felt a crushing responsibility to be his stand-in. He remembered a story his grandfather used to tell him about a young man who faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge and found strength in the most unexpected places. He needed a miracle, or at least a monumental opportunity. He felt a deep yearning for the simpler days, the days when his biggest worry was a pop quiz or a challenging baseball pitch. Now, every breath felt heavy with the weight of adulthood, thrust upon him far too soon. The next day, desperation gnawing at him, Ethan stumbled upon an old flyer tacked to a community bulletin board, a local talent show with a grand prize of $5,000. $5,000. It was a lifeline, a flickering beacon in the suffocating darkness. He'd always loved music, playing his beat-up acoustic guitar in his room, composing simple melodies that spoke of teenage angst and hopeful dreams. But performing? In front of an audience? The thought alone made his palms sweat. He was a quiet kid, happier in the shadows than under the spotlight. Yet, the image of the eviction notice, the raw fear in his mother's eyes, spurred him on. This wasn't about him, it was about them. It was about saving their home, giving his family a fighting chance. He started practicing in secret, late at night, after Lily was asleep and his mother had finally succumbed to exhaustion. He'd retreat to the dusty attic, the only place where his strumming wouldn't disturb anyone. His fingers, calloused from manual labor, fumbled with the chords, rusty from disuse. His voice, hoarse from worry, cracked on the high notes. Doubt, a constant companion, whispered insidious thoughts in his ear, "You're not good enough. You'll embarrass yourself. It's hopeless." But each time he thought of giving up, he pictured his father's determined gaze, his mother's weary smile, Lily's innocent laughter. He found a new song taking shape, a melody born of his pain, his love, his burgeoning courage. It was a song about resilience, about holding on to hope even when everything felt lost. The lyrics flowed from his heart, a raw, honest outpouring of his family's struggle, their unwavering love, and his desperate plea for a miracle. He poured all his emotions into the music, each note a testament to his resolve. He wasn't just playing a song, he was bearing his soul. Word of his predicament, quietly shared by his mother with a trusted neighbor, began to ripple through their small town. Mrs. Rodriguez, who ran the local bakery and had always treated Ethan to extra cookies, offered him free meals. Mr. Chang, the owner of the hardware store where Ethan occasionally helped, quietly slipped him a gift card for school supplies. Ethan. Even his English teacher, Ms. Albright, known for her strict demeanor, pulled him aside after class, not to scold him for his declining performance, but to gently offer extra tutoring, her eyes filled with an understanding he hadn't expected. These small acts of kindness, these quiet gestures of compassion, became tiny sparks of light in his darkening world. They reminded him that he wasn't entirely alone, that humanity, in its own quiet way, was reaching out. The day of the talent show arrived, a blur of nervous energy and frantic prayers. The community auditorium, usually reserved for school plays, was packed. Ethan stood backstage, his guitar clutched tightly, his heart thrumming against his ribs like a frantic bird. He could hear the muffled applause, the laughter, the buzz of the crowd. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and pictured his family. He imagined his father, slowly but surely recovering, his mother finally at peace, Lily's bright smile undimmed. He opened his eyes, a newfound resolve firming his jaw. He wasn't just playing for the prize money, he was playing for his family, for their future, for the silent strength that had carried them this far. When his name was called, a hush fell over the audience. He walked onto the stage, the spotlight a blinding circle of white, and for a fleeting moment, fear threatened to overwhelm him. He saw the sea of faces, a blur of expectant gazes, and his stomach lurched. Then, he saw his mother in the front row, her face etched with worry but also a glimmer of hope. Beside her sat Lily, her small hand waving excitedly. And in his mind's eye, he saw his father, a proud, reassuring presence. Taking another deep breath, he began to play. The first chords were shaky, but as the melody unfolded, his fingers found their rhythm, his voice, surprisingly strong, filled the auditorium. He sang his song, his voice raw with emotion, each lyric a testament to his family's struggle, their love, and his unwavering hope. He sang of the fear, the desperation, but also of the quiet acts of kindness that had kept them afloat, the unwavering spirit of resilience that bloomed even in the harshest of conditions. The audience was captivated. His voice, though not polished, carried a profound honesty, an emotional depth that resonated with everyone. You could hear a pin drop. Many in the crowd had heard whispers of the Miller family's plight, and as Ethan's story unfolded through his music, a collective wave of empathy washed over them. He wasn't just singing, he was sharing a part of himself, a vulnerability that was both heartbreaking and inspiring. Tears welled in the eyes of many, including Ms. Albright, who wiped a tear from her cheek, her strict demeanor softened by the raw emotion pouring from the stage. When the last note faded, the silence stretched, thick with emotion. Then, a single clap broke the stillness, followed by another, and another, until the entire auditorium erupted in a standing ovation. Applause thundered, shouts of "bravo" and "amazing" filled the air. Ethan stood there, stunned, tears blurring his vision. He hadn't just played a song, he had shared his heart, and in return, he had received an outpouring of support he could never have imagined. He saw his mother, her face streaked with tears, a radiant smile finally breaking through her worry. Lily was jumping up and down, her small face alight with pride. The judges, visibly moved, deliberated for what felt like an eternity. Finally, the announcement came. And the winner of this year's talent show, with a performance that truly touched our hearts, is Ethan Miller. A fresh wave of applause crashed over him. He walked forward, numb with disbelief, to accept the oversized check. $5,000. It was real. It was enough to stop the eviction, to buy them time, to breathe. It wasn't a permanent solution, but it was a crucial stepping stone, a beacon of hope in the relentless storm. It meant his family had a fighting chance. It meant a reprieve, a moment to regroup and plan their next steps. But the story didn't end with the prize money. Inspired by Ethan's courage and the raw honesty of his song, the community rallied around the Miller family. The local newspaper ran a front-page story about Ethan and his family, detailing their struggles and his extraordinary performance. A GoFundMe page, set up by Ms. Albright, quickly surpassed its goal, donations pouring in from across the town and even beyond, reaching those who had been moved by the online video of Ethan's performance. Mrs. Henderson, their landlady, touched by the outpouring of support and Ethan's moving performance, offered them a flexible payment plan for their rent, understanding their temporary hardship. Mr. Henderson, her husband, even offered Ethan a steady part-time job at his construction company, knowing Ethan needed consistent income. Months later, Ethan's father was slowly but steadily recovering, regaining some of his mobility and speech through intensive therapy. The doctors were cautiously optimistic, attributing much of his progress to the renewed hope and positive atmosphere at home. The financial burden was still present, but it was no longer crushing. The community continued to support them, not with pity, but with a genuine sense of shared humanity. Ethan, with Ms. Albright's guidance, caught up on his schoolwork and even applied for a few local scholarships, his dream of college rekindled. He continued to play his guitar, not just in the attic anymore, but at local open mic nights, sharing his music and his story, inspiring others with his tale of resilience and the unexpected kindness he had found. Lily, no longer sheltered by made-up stories, understood the challenges they had faced but also the incredible strength of their family and the compassion of their community. She looked up to her older brother, not just as a protector, but as a hero who had faced adversity head-on. The house, once silent and shadowed, slowly began to fill with laughter again, softer at first, then growing louder, more confident. The aroma of his mother's cooking filled the air, a scent of normalcy and comfort that had been missing for too long. Ethan's journey through adversity had not been easy, but it had taught him profound lessons about courage, compassion, and the interconnectedness of humanity. He learned that true strength wasn't about never falling, but about getting back up, time and time again. He learned that even in the darkest of times, light can be found in unexpected places, often in the kindness of strangers, the unwavering love of family, and the power of one's own indomitable spirit. His story became a testament to the fact that even a single act of courage, born from the deepest love, can inspire a ripple effect of compassion, transforming not just one family's life, but an entire community. This journey, filled with unexpected turns and incredible resilience, proved that even when everything seems lost, there is always hope, always a chance for a new beginning, and always the power of human connection to light the way. If this story touched your heart, if you believe in the strength of the human spirit and the profound impact of compassion, please show your support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends and family, and leaving a comment below. Your engagement helps us share more stories of hope and kindness with the world. Please comment below and let us know what part of Ethan's journey resonated with you the most. Ethan looked out at the setting sun, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, a stark contrast to the stormy days he had endured. He strummed a gentle chord on his guitar, a new melody forming, one of gratitude and enduring hope. The wind still whispered through the trees, but now it sounded less like despair and more like a gentle, encouraging song, a reminder that even after the fiercest storms, the sun will always rise again.